everyone, welcome to another vlog. This vlog is all about Lancelin Sundance. From a spontaneous road trips to a windswept duns, this is a day that reminds us why the simplest escapes are often leave the deepest impression. It was one of those perfect Western Australian afternoons, like kind where the sky sketches endlessly blue, the sun feels warm but no harsh, and the air carries just enough breeze to make you want to step outside and go somewhere. So, without overthinking it, we decided to take a short escape from the city. Our destination was Lancelin, just an hour and a half drive from Perth. Lancelin is one of those places that feels far enough to be a gateway, yet close enough to make it effortless. And sometimes that's all you need. Not a long holiday, not a detailed plan, just a good drive, good weather, and the good company. From the quiet hum of city to the white whispering duns of Lancelin, today's journey was a reminder that sometimes the best escapes are the simplest one. It was just past noon when we stepped off 12 sharp. The sun stood high but gentle, casting a warm, golden glow over Perth. There is something quietly thrilling about leaving the city behind, watching the buildings gradually giving way to open roads and endless skies. As the saying goes, not all those who wander are lost, and today we are simply wandering with a purpose but without pressure. To drive to Lancelin, about an hour and a half from city, unfolded like a slow, comforting story. The road sketched ahead in long, easy curves, flanked by patches of scrubland and glimpses of Indian Ocean shimmering in the distance. The weather could not have been more perfect: clear skies, a light breeze, and the unmistakable Western Australian sunlight that seems to make every color very vivid. There is a certain kind of a peace that settles in the during a road trip like this. Conversation come and go. Sometimes you talk about everything, other times you just sit in silence, letting the rhythm of a road do the talking. Being there with my wife made it even more special. These are the moments that don't demand attention yet end up meaning the most. As old saying goes, happiness is not a destination, it is a journey. And today, that could not have been truer. As we got closer to Lancelin, the landscape began to shift. Greenery thinned out, replaced by a pale, rolling dunes, and look almost otherworldly. It felt like stepping into a different realm, one where the rules of city no longer applied and the nature took a center stage. Arriving in the Lancelin always brings a sense of quiet excitement. It is a small coastal town, but it holds a kind of charm that hard to describe. Maybe it is the simplicity, or maybe it is the way time seems to slow down just a little. The air felt fresher. The bridge carried a hint of salt, and the vastness of the dunes invited us to leave everything behind and just play. And that's exactly what we did. We made our way to Duns, where the real adventure began. White sand stretched endlessly, soft yet firm, glowing under the afternoon sun. It is the kind of place that instantly awakens your inner child. You see the slopes, open space, and you just know you're here to have fun. We decided to ride the Duns bike, and let me tell you, there is nothing quite like it. The moment the engine roared to life, a surge of excitement ran through me. There is a unique thrill in riding across the sand dunes. The way the bike responds, the slight unpredictability, the feeling of gliding and bouncing all at once. It is not just a ride, it is an experiment, an experience that engages all your senses. As we took turns riding up and down the dunes, sometimes cautiously, sometimes a little more drainingly, there are moments of hesitations. Those steep slopes can be intimidating, but also moments to pure exhilarations when you realize you have made it to the top and standing there looking out over the vast expanses of sand and sky, you can't help but feel a sense of accomplishment, however small it may seem. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. They say that riding those dunes felt like stepping just far enough beyond it to feel alive. What made the experience even more special was sharing it, doing something new, something a little adventurous together. It added a different dimension to the day. It is not just about the activity, it is about the memories you create along the way. The small laugh, their shared glances, and unspoken understanding. That is the moments matter. After spending time riding, we slowed the things down a bit. We walked along the dunes, setting out our feet, skiing into the soft sand. The beach had picked up slightly, carrying with it a distant sound of waves. It was one of those rare moments where everything feels perfectly balanced. No rush, no noise, just the present moment. We paused for a while, taking it all in. The sky seemed wider here, the cloud more distant, the world more open. It is in place like this that you realize how easy it is to get caught up in busyness of everyday life and how important it is to step away every now and then. Take only memories, leave only footprints. It is a simple saying, but standing here, it feels especially meaningful. As the afternoon began to drift towards evening. The light softened. The harsh brightness of midday gave way to a warmer, more golden hue. Shadows stretched across the downs, adding depth and texture to the landscape. It was the kind of light that photographers dream of, but more importantly, it was the kind of light that makes you pause and appreciate where you are. We didn't rush to leave, there was no need. Days like this aren't meant to be hurried, they unfold at our own pace, and the best thing you can do is simply go along with it. Eventually, though it was time to head back, the drive home carried a different energy. The excitement of the journey here had transformed into the quiet sense of contentment. The sun began to dip lower in the sky, painting everything in the shades of orange and pink. The road seemed calmer, almost reflective, as if inviting us to think back on the day. We talk about the highlights, the rides, the views, and small funny moments that made us laugh. And then, like before, there were stretches of comfortable silence, not the kind that feels empty, but the kind that feels full, full of shared experience, of understanding, of presence. There is something deeply satisfying about returning home after a day well spent. You carry a different kind of tiredness, no exhaustion, but a gentle fatigue that comes from joy and activity. It is a kind of feeling that reminds you have truly lived the day. Looking back, it wasn't an extravagant trip. There was no elaborate plans, no packed itineraries, just a simple drive, a beautiful location, and willingness to enjoy the moment, and yet turned out to be exactly what we needed. Because sometimes the best days aren't the one filled with grand events, but ones where everything just feels right. A good life is a collection of happy moments, and today added a few more to that collection. Lancelin, with its quiet charm and endless dance, gave us more than just a gateway. It gave us a pause, a chance to step forward, step away from the routine, to reconnect and remember the joy of simple experiences. And as we pull back into the city, the light beginning to flicker on, one thing was clear: this wouldn't be the last time we met this journey, because some places call you back not with noise but with a promise of peace. It wasn't just a trip, it was a quiet reminder, the kind that does not arrive loudly but settles gently within you. A reminder that happiness does not always come from the grand plan or a distant destinations. It often lives in the in between moments, in a simple drive under upon a sky, in a shared laughter with echoes across empty dawns, and in the comfort of having the right person beside you. Sometimes all it takes is a chance of scenery, and a pause from a routine to realize how little you actually need to feel content. A good life is built on a good moments, and today was filled with them. Moments that didn't ask for attention, yet become unforgettable. The kind you don't measure in time, but in how deeply they stay with you. Lancelin didn't just offer us an escape, it offered a perspective. It reminded us how refreshing it feels to slow down, to breathe a little deeper, and to simply exist without urgency. It gave us memory shaped by sunlight, wind, and laughter. Memories that feel both fleeting and lasting at the same time. There was something unspoken about the entire experience, quite understanding that this wasn't just about where we went, but how it made us feel a sense of calm, of connection, of being fully present in a way that everyday life rarely allows. And even as we made our way back, the road stretching behind us and the city light slowly come back into review, and feeling didn't fade. If anything, it lingered, soft but certain, because some journey does not truly end when you return home. They stay with you in a subtle ways, in your thoughts, in your conversations, in quiet moments when you find yourself smiling for no reason at all. And they become a part of you. And long after the road disappeared from the slide, the feeling of that day, the freedom, the joy, the stillness continues to travel with you, reminding you that sometimes the simplest journey leaves the deepest footprints. There is certain kind of beauty in a days that don't try too hard. No grand expectation, no rigid plans, just a simple intention to step away and experience something different. And somehow, those are the days that stay with you the longest. This trip to Lancelin was one of those days. It wasn't just about the destinations or the duns, or even the thrill of riding across the sand. It was about everything in between: the drive, the conversation, laughter, the silence, and the shared moment that didn't need to be spoken about to be understood. As we made our way back, watching the sky transform into soft shadows of orange and fading gold, there was a quiet sense of fulfillment and settled in. The kind that does not come from doing something extraordinary, but from truly being present in something simple. Because the truth is, we often spend so much of our life chasing the big moments, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity. But the days like these remind us that life isn't only made of those rare and grand experiences. It is built piece by piece from small, meaningful moments that we choose to embrace. A drive at noon, a spontaneous decision, a sheer laugh and carried by the wind, a feeling of sand and beneath your feet, and sound of silence that feels full, not empty. These are the details that quite save our memories. And perhaps that what made this day so special. It didn't demand anything from us. It simply offered a space to breathe, to slow down, to reconnect not only with each other but with ourselves. In a world that constantly moves forward, always asking for more, faster, and better, places like Lancelin remind you to pause, to look around, to appreciate what already there. The endless dunes did not just give us an adventure, they give us a perspective. Standing there, surrounded by nothing but sand and sky, you realize how small your worries can feel and how vast the world truly is. It is quite kind of clarity, one that does not come with noise, but with stillness. And then there was the joy, simple, unfiltered joy. The kind that comes from trying something new, from letting go of hesitations, from allowing yourself to just enjoy the moment without overthinking it. Riding across the dunes, feeling the wind rush past, hearing the laughter echoed in the open space, those are the moments that don't need explanation. They speak for themselves. What made it even more meaningful was sharing it. Because the heart of every journey, it is not just about where you go, it is about who you are with. The presence of the right person turns an ordinary day into something unforgettable. The conversation, the feeling lighter, the silence feel warmer, and even the simplest experiences become something you carry with you. And maybe that's the real takeaway from this day. Not the location, not the activity, but the feeling. A feeling of ease, a feeling of connection, a feeling of being completely effortlessly present. As we return to the city with the familiar lights and steady rhythm, there was a subtle shift within us. Nothing dramatic, nothing overwhelming, just a quiet awareness that something inside had been refreshed. It is easy to fall back into routine, to get caught up in the cycle of everyday responsibilities. But a day like this leave us a mark. They stay with you in a way you think, in a way you pause a little longer, in a way you begin to appreciate the small things a bit more. Because some journey don't end, even the road does. They continue in your thoughts, in your memories, in your quiet moments. You find yourself looking backward, smiling without even realizing it. It becomes a part of your story, woven into a fabric of your everyday life. And long after sand has been brushed off your shoes and the sound of your dance has faded into your memory, the feeling remains.